Hi, and welcome to Saltbox's Byte-Size Demos. Today we're actually going to tell you about a connector we built for Salesforce. Now, the intent of this connector is to help solve some of the challenges with industry clouds and commerce, having disparate data models. The example we're going to show you today is specific to CG Cloud. However, this package can be extended very easily to accommodate any other industry clouds or other clouds from Salesforce as well. So in this org, I have both consumer goods and I have a commerce portal set up for reordering purposes. So you can see here we have some past orders, but those are all previous states. And so what we're going to do here to walk you through this demo is the first thing is we're going to create an order in CG Cloud. We're going to see that flow over to commerce. From there, we're going to actually perform some OMS actions on that order, have those be reflected in CG Cloud, and then lastly, reorder that modified order in Commerce Cloud and have that flow over to CG Cloud. So the first thing we're going to do is go into our advanced orders within CG Cloud and actually create a new order. This first page can take a moment to pop up. So then we'll type in our account name, our standard order template is selected, and we'll click continue. Now we have a few products set up in this case that are both entitled to Commerce and CG Cloud. And so what I will do is we now have our order header created when this loads, and we will go in and we will add a couple products to our basket. So we'll go to our basket, we'll add products. Like I mentioned, we have a few products set up here, so we'll just add a handful of these, add to basket. Now, the trigger point that actually sends this to Commerce Cloud is when we submit for approval. This is flexible, it can be whatever trigger point a customer needs, but in this case, we'll go ahead and submit. You'll see that this is now ready, in the ready stage, and so we can go over into our order summaries and see that order. Just for a data point, this order is $4,999.90. So if we go to our recently created orders, you'll see here we have that order for $40,999.90. Now, the OMS action that we have set up is to actually return items. But if you think about this in the real world, those orders cannot have items returned until they're actually fulfilled. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kick off one or two OMS actions here to actually initiate fulfillment. You'll see that our order line items are now allocated. And then the last thing we'll do, this is typically done by a back-end system to say it's actually been shipped and then fulfilled, but we will just manually select fulfilled for the purposes of this demo on this fulfillment order. When I do that and I go back to my order summary, you'll now see that the status of these line items have moved from allocated to fulfilled. So now we'll actually go to the meat of the OMS action, and that's actually returning an item. So here we're going to select one of these products. We're going to select the amount that we want to return. We'll return 2 of the 5. And you'll see here we now have a screen that tells us the amount that's going to be credited to a customer. This will appear in a credit memo in OMS once we click submit. So if I go here, you'll see we now have 3 fulfilled with our unit price, and our order total has been updated to $3,899.92. On the commerce side, if I flip over to this portal, you'll see here, if I refresh, that we now have that order. It was in here before it was modified, but obviously the modification is what is being represented now of $3,899.92. So what we're going to do momentarily is actually reorder this. Before we do that, we'll go back to our CG order. And when I refresh this page, you'll of course see that those changes to the total amount. For the purpose of this demo, for data posterity's sake, we kept the original value of $4,999. But then if you go to your basket, you'll see that you now only have 3 instead of the original 5 that we had added in here. So the last step is we'll go back to our reorder portal. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start reordering. That is obviously going to add this to our cart. We will go and view our cart. It has the modified amount in here. Of course, a customer could go in and actually change these quantities if they wanted to. And we'll go ahead and check out. We have a standard checkout set up for the purpose of this demo. We have some default delivery options, doesn't matter which one you select. And then the only payment method that we're accepting at this point is a purchase order number. So we'll just type in a PO number. We'll keep the billing address, the same as the shipping address, which of course you could change if you wanted to. And we'll actually go in and we will place this order. We have our order confirmation number, and of course we can go back and continue shopping. However, for the purposes of this example, let's pull up the advanced orders, and you can see here our last viewed order, or last created order, is this one for $3,899.92, which is a separate order than the original one that we had created. So again, this connector can be transposable to any other clouds, and we think it's something that's really unique and interesting. It's all configuration driven and data driven, so that way it provides the flexibility to meet unique customers' needs as well. Thank you.